They want to see lower taxes. They want to see stronger schools. They want to see better communities. And that's the message that made it such a great win for Republicans.
Well,
yesterday.
Schwasky, and I'm just thinking out loud. I didn't mean to step on you, but I want to get this thought in. I was just thinking, in a place with the history that Neshoba County and Philadelphia, Mississippi have when it comes to racial history, for this type of flip to happen as it sits there majority black is incredible. And I think this needs to be studied by the Mississippi GOP as to how y'all managed to pull this off and start looking at flipping some of these smaller rural Democrat cities.
Well, I think it's 100% right, and I think that they will do that. I was in touch with them all day yesterday. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, and I was in touch with them yesterday as we were moving forward, but, because I'm secretary of the Neshoba County Republican Party, so that history that you're talking about is bred deep, back in the 1960s, my grandfather, Joe Lowndes, was the president of the NAACP, in this county. And he actually built Mount Zion Church, that was burnt down by the KKK during the 1964 Civil Rights Slave. He played a part in, rebuilding that church. And his name is on it right now. So my roots in this community run deep, so I know the people here. It's where I was born and raised. Well, I was born in Meridian, raised here in Noxapater as well. And we vote people, not just party here. And I think you saw that yesterday.
Man, look, I woke up to the news this morning. I saw your text. I went to bed a little early last night. I went to bed around 9 o'clock. And so I saw your text when I woke up. My buddy Bruce Bartley that hosts Grip and Grin, he sent me a very similar text. I was like, this is hot. We're talking about this morning. That's when I text you at 6 o'clock. I was like, hey, I know it's early, but would love to have you on this morning. And I appreciate you jumping up and coming on.
Appreciate coming.
I mean, what do you credit it to? Like if you had to narrow it down, and feel free to say what you were going to say, but I wanted to ask, like, if you could narrow it down to one thing or a couple things, like, what do you think really, what was the magic elixir that got this done? I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, was it quality of candidate on the Democrat side? Was it just old school knocking on doors, politicking? I mean, what do you think it was?
I think one thing that if it was a good old fashioned political campaign, get on the phones, getting on the doors, those candidates were on the doors all the way up until the last ballot, was being cast. And I know that because I was calling, talking to them. And that's one thing. I think the other thing was the buildup, Clay. I'll be quite honest with you. We ran great ads here, in Neshoba County through our radio station up here. And I even got a call from Mr.